Welcome to Quick Movie Recaps. Today, we will show you an action movie named White House Down from 2013. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and subscribe. The movie starts when former U.S. Army soldier John Cale is assigned to protect Speaker of the House Eli Raphelson as Capitol Police Officer. He got the assignment because he saved the life of Raphelson's nephew while they were both in Afghanistan. Cale was unable to attend the performance of her daughter, Emily. To make her happy again, Cale promises and takes her to see the White House. Bored with the job, he applied to join the Secret Service, and also had an interview conducted by a former college friend, Carol Finnerty. But the interview doesn't go well. After lying to her by saying the interview went well, they decided to take a tour of the White House. At the same time, President James Sawyer has announced a new proposed peace treaty that would remove all U.S. troops from the Middle East. During the tour, Cale sees several men dressed as AV installers entering the White House. But shortly after that, Emily asks to use the restroom. While she is away, a bomb blows up at the U.S. Capitol. Raphelson is shaken up but uninjured. Carol is driving by the Capitol when it blew up. She goes in, finds the speaker and gets him to safety at the Pentagon. She does so because he is second in line of presidential succession, after the vice president. The VP is also taken to safety inside Air Force One, which then takes off. Because of the explosion, the White House goes on lockdown, which separates Emily from Cale and the rest of the tour group. The AV installers, led by Emil Stenz, then produce weapons and starts killing the Secret Service agents and other security through the White House. The president is taken to the Presidential Emergency Operations Center by retiring Secret Service detail leader Martin Walker. But as he is about to enter it, Walker kills all the agents inside the POC. Walker then tells the president this is revenge because his son was killed in a Black Ops mission that he ordered. Cale dodges and succeeds in escaping from the siege of terrorist group. He immediately starts looking for his daughter. He almost got killed by one of terrorists but kills him. Cale grabs weapon and security wireless handset and begins looking for Emily. While looking for Emily, he realizes that the president is in danger. He doesn't find her but sees Walker and the president. He shoots at Walker, and the president can get away. Cale then gets in a shootout with the terrorists, with the president hiding nearby. Cale and the president can get on an elevator and get away. At this time, Walker brings in Skip Tyler, who is hired to hack the U.S. defense systems. Cale and the president are able to run away from armed killers. They even avoid Stenz and Walker and eventually make it to the garage, where they attempt to use the presidential limo to escape. They are in pursuit by the terrorists in the presidential SUV, which is armed with a minigun. The chase on the South Lawn, which is broadcast on worldwide television, ends with the limo crashing into the White House swimming pool. There is then a shootout that ends with an explosion, presumably killing the president and Cale. The vice president, still on Air Force One, takes the oath of office to become the new president, and he immediately orders Delta Force to retake the White House. Tyler learns of the attack and warns Stenz and the other terrorists, and they are able to defeat the Delta Force. Tyler, who also has control of NORAD, launches a missile at Air Force One, which destroys it and kills the former vice president. Speaker Raphelson is then sworn in as the new president and orders an airstrike on the White House. Meanwhile, Cale and the president are still alive. Stenz discovers that the man who has been protecting the president is the father of one of the hostages. He then takes Emily to Walker, who uses the White House intercom to order Cale to hand over the president or he will kill her. Before Cale can surrender, the president surrenders to Walker. Now in the Oval Office, Walker produces the nuclear football and demands that the president activate it. He refuses, and is forced to activate it, then shot. Since the president's codes were deactivated once the attack began, Walker produces his own nuclear launch codes and orders a nuclear attack against Iran, which will begin World War III. While that is happening, Stenz finds Cale, and they get into a fight in the White House press room. Cale eventually gets the upper hand and pulls the pin on a grenade on Stenz's belt. The explosion kills him instantly. Cale then goes to the presidential SUV and drives it into the Oval Office. Before Walker can launch the nukes, Cale shoots him with the minigun, killing him. After reuniting with Emily and telling her to run away due to the airstrike, Cale goes to get the president. The lead pilot sees Emily waving off the flag to stop the airstrike. Instead of running away, Emily shows courage. The captain immediately aborts the mission. Cale then finds the president and sees he survived the gunshot because the bullet hit a pocket watch that he always carries with him. At the Pentagon, everyone is cheering that the siege is over. However, Finnerty's investigation of the terrorists shows that Walker couldn't be the one who hired them for the attack. There was someone else involved, and when she calls and tells that to Cale, he figures out who it is. Later, Raphelson and Finnerty fly to the White House on Marine One and meet up with Cale. He tells Raphelson the president is dead, so he orders troops back into the Middle East, violating the peace treaty. Cale and Finnerty then confront Raphelson that he is the one who gave Walker the launch codes and tried to kill the president so his defense buddies could keep their jobs, and the airstrike would have destroyed all the evidence that proved he was involved in the attack. President Sawyer then emerges from the rubble and orders to arrest Raphelson for the attempted coup. The movie ends with the president hiring Cale to be on his personal Secret Service detail, and they, along with Emily, take a flying tour of Washington before he goes to the hospital. That's the end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more recaps like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.